Welcome. This is David Boles, Human Meme. Today's topic: hold your own damn hat. There are times in our lives when we get the specialness beat out of us. The millennials in us get removed via force and against our will. And yes, we get humility hammered into our souls against our will, and those moments tend to stick with us. When we begin to realize the world really does owe us nothing, and the universe doesn't care if you live or die. The whole galaxy only wants you, and you alone, to hold your own damn hat. And so, it begins. When I was perhaps 7 or 8 years old, I was visiting my grandfather in North Loup, Nebraska. You can hear more about my grandfather and North Loup, Nebraska in my Golfing with My Grandfather podcast episode here in your favorite Human Meme podcast. Just go to humanmeme.com and do a search. So every year, North Loup hosts Popcorn Days, and it is a multi-day celebration for a village of about 400 people and the surrounding communities. North Loup crowns a popcorn queen, and there are parades. And for several years I walked in the parade, dressed as a clown, green and white polka dots, red nose, orange hair. And I tossed out free Jolly Rancher candies to the kids along the parade route. And back then, North Loup would shut down Main Street, all of 1 block long, and host carnival games and a few kiddie rides. Hey, it was fun and spectacular. So, when I was 7 or 8 or 9... I was visiting Popcorn Days from my home in Lincoln, Nebraska, 3 hours away. And it was hot, and it was August, and it was at night. And back then, you could walk around North Loup, Nebraska at night as a kid by yourself, alone. It was safe. And you can read my 1984 photo memory of North Loup, Nebraska, published in David Boles Blogs, located online at bolesblogs.com, if you want more information about that. And so, on the night in question, my young friend Steve, born and bred in North Loup, and I decided to play some carnival games. And then we decided it was our turn to ride the Ferris Wheel. And in anticipation of all that excitement, I took off my brand new train engineer's cap, given to me by my grandfather, and I held it out to the ride operator. I asked him if he would please hold my hat. It was really windy, and I was afraid of losing that cool gift from my grandfather. And the carny, everyone running the Popcorn Days rides and games were not from North Loup. They were a traveling band of desperados, carnies, and they were rough and tough and not from here. And while I knew that, I didn't really know that because I asked that old scruffy, hatless, carny guy running the Ferris Wheel ride to hold my hat for me. I thought it would be fine. But without missing a beat, the guy scowled at me and said, "Hold your own damn hat." And I was shocked and stunned and a little hurt. I couldn't believe this old guy that I did not know not only yelled at me in front of my friend, but he also cursed at me in front of everybody. And if I had said damn at that age and that time, I would have been slapped or clawed with a mother's talons in the crook of my arm until I bled. Well, I started to cry, and then I didn't. I just sat on the hard metal bench of the Ferris wheel, my friend Steve next to me. The Ferris wheel operator slammed the metal bar down in front of us and locked us in. We swayed a bit in the cage as the ride started, and I couldn't look at Steve, and he couldn't look at me. So I took off my beloved engineer's cap, and I crushed it down into a ball, and I stuffed that hat under my yellow shirt. My messy hair whipped in the neon carnival lights of a bright blue Nebraska evening sky. And when the ride was over, I ran off the Ferris wheel, uncrunched my hat from under my shirt, and replaced it on my head. Worse for the wear, indeed. And my friend Steve disappeared somewhere behind me. I don't think I saw him for the rest of my stay there. And wounded and unwilling, I went to my family to tell them what had happened. And when I did, they didn't care. My mother said, "Of course you should hold your own damn hat." And I was incredulous. If someone had asked me at age 7, 8, or 9 to hold their hat, I would have. But nobody cared. Nobody cared about him yelling at me. Nobody cared. He cussed me out in front of everybody. Nothing. And so, my human meme friend, it was then that I learned at age 7, 8, or 9 in a North Loup Carnival Midway, exactly 1 block long, that I learned you are on your own in this lifetime. Nobody's going to stand up for you or with you. And hold your own damn hat became a joke in my family, as the punchline to any innocent request for help. And so for the rest of that weekend and beyond, this is what happened. Could I please have a soda? Hold your own damn hat. Please pass the butter. Hold your own damn hat. Do you think we could go outside to the movie theater and watch a movie under the stars? Hold your own damn hat. And I didn't even pretend to laugh along when they would say, hold your own damn hat, which was extremely anti-Midwestern behavior at that time. Because as a child, you are raised to go along with the joke, even if it hurts your little feelings, because you're supposed to be tough, and you're supposed to be a good sport, and you're supposed to play along. Well, I've never been into mean jokes or practical jokes, and I hate April Fool's Day. So when they would start making the hold your own damn hat jokes, I would just sort of get up and disappear. But I did learn to hold my own damn hat. Do for others, don't ask of others. That's how Nebraska kids were born and bred in the 1970s. And I still think that's pretty much true today. And I know some people wish kids today had been yelled at by an old mean carny in the Midwest when they were 7, 8, or 9 years old. Hold your own damn hat does ring and resonate on many levels when you deal with young people today who want no consequences, but who want all the rewards and the wishes. And they want that for doing nothing but being in the room. Holding your own damn hat requires some residual resistance to the common thinking of the day. And there are better ways, I now know, how to teach personal responsibility than yelling and cursing at a sweet young lad. But who are we to choose how we are treated? And kids really do pretty much rely upon the kindness of strangers. And there is no guarantee in the betting of the blossoming that there will be any gentleness from a person who will get nothing out of the exchange except a fulfillment of duty and promise. And so, my human meme friend, I leave you with this duty and this promise, good now and redeemable forever. Yes, I will be happy to hold your ding-dang hat. And you don't even have to ask. Just hand it over. I'll give your hat a light crumpling, and then carefully tuck it under my shirt for safekeeping from the wind. I have a lot of practice. Thank you for listening. Be a human meme.